My name is Marcos. I am a detective in a big city. I love my job because I get to help people. Today, I want to tell you about a case I am working on. One day, I got a call from the police station. My heart started to race. They said there was a bank robbery. I grabbed my coat and rushed to the bank. When I arrived, I saw a crowd of people standing outside. The police were already there, asking questions. I looked around carefully. The bank's front windows were broken, and papers were scattered all over the floor. I could feel that this was going to be a big case. My good friend, Officer Lopez, was standing near the entrance. I walked over to him. Lopez's face was serious as he explained, "Some people came during the night. They broke in and stole money. They were wearing masks, so no one saw their faces." I frowned. "Were there security cameras?" I asked. Lopez nodded. "Yes. But the robbers took them too." I knew this wasn't going to be easy. But I couldn't let them get away. I had to find clues. I promised myself, I will work hard. I will talk to witnesses, search for fingerprints, and follow every lead. I won't stop until I catch the robbers. The next morning, I returned to the bank to start my investigation. I spoke to the people who had been there during the day. Some told me they saw 3 men running away after the robbery. Others said they heard loud noises during the night. I carefully looked around the crime scene again. Near one of the broken windows, something caught my eye, a small piece of cloth. I bent down and picked it up. There was a logo on it. My instincts told me it might belong to one of the robbers. I placed the cloth in an evidence bag. Later, I checked the security cameras from nearby buildings. My heart skipped a beat as I watched the footage. There they were, 3 men wearing masks. They carried bags as they entered the bank. I took pictures from the video and showed them to Officer Lopez. "This might be the break we need," I said. Lopez nodded. "Let's catch them." I knew this case was far from over, but I felt more determined than ever. The robbers thought they could escape, but they didn't know Detective Marcos was on the case. Officer Lopez looked at me, his eyes serious. "We need to find them fast," he said. I nodded and started asking people in the neighborhood if they noticed anything strange that night. Some said they heard a car speeding away. Others remembered seeing 3 men hurrying down the street. I felt like we were getting closer, but the robbers were still out there. I worked with other detectives to search abandoned buildings and hideouts. We found small clues, a cigarette, a torn glove, but not the robbers. The case was getting harder, but I didn't give up. I promised myself, they can't escape forever. I will find them. They can't get away with this. One day, during a search at a suspect's house, I opened a closet, and there it was, a black bag. It looked just like the ones used during the robbery. I opened it carefully. Inside, I found money and a mask. My heart raced. I immediately called Officer Lopez. "I think I found something big," I said. "Be careful," Lopez warned. "These guys might be dangerous." That night, we set up a trap near the bank. The air felt cold, and the streets were quiet. Lopez and I hid in the shadows, waiting. Suddenly, footsteps echoed nearby. 3 men appeared from the darkness, their faces partially hidden. "It's them," I whispered. "They were the robbers. Now." Lopez shouted. We jumped out and stopped them. The robbers tried to run, but we were faster. We caught them right there on the street. When we searched their bags, we found the stolen money and masks. the neighborhood cheered when they heard the news. People thanked us, saying they felt safer knowing the robbers were caught. The bank manager shook our hands, smiling. "You've done a great job," he said. "It was a tough case, but we solved it together." Justice had been served. The robbers were behind bars, and our city felt safer. After the robbery, things finally calmed down. The neighborhood felt peaceful again, and the bank reopened with extra security. One day, I visited the bank. The manager greeted me warmly. "Thank you, Marcos," he said. "Our customers feel safe again. You made a real difference." A few weeks later, the robbers went to court. The judge found them guilty and sent them to jail for a long time. I felt relieved knowing they couldn't hurt anyone else. Officer Lopez and I received awards for our work. The mayor even praised us for our bravery and dedication. It felt good to be recognized. The bank manager invited us to a celebration party. As I looked around at the smiling faces, I felt proud of what we had done. This is why I love being a detective. I help make my city a better place. But I know this won't be my last case. A new challenge is just around the corner. One morning, I found a letter on my desk. It read, "Detective Marcos, a famous painting has been stolen from the museum. Another mystery begins." The letter didn't say who took the painting or why. But I knew right away, this was my next case. I called my team together and we hurried to the museum. The director was waiting for us at the entrance, his face full of worry. "This painting is priceless," he said. "It's not just worth a lot of money. It's part of our history." I could feel the weight of responsibility. We needed to find it, fast. As we began our investigation, small clues started to surface: a strange footprint near the display, fingerprints on a glass case, and a list of recent visitors with unfamiliar names. Piece by piece, the puzzle came together. We discovered that this wasn't just one stolen painting. It led us to something much bigger, an underground art theft ring. These thieves were stealing valuable art and selling it on the black market. My heart raced. This case was larger than I expected. But I didn't back down. I never do. The city was counting on us to protect its treasures. I looked at my team and said, "We're going to stop them. We'll get that painting back." I knew this was going to be a tough challenge, but I was ready for it. The art world hides many secrets. But I'm Detective Marcos, and I'm ready to uncover them all. Stay tuned for the next chapter of my adventures. Helpful words from the story: detective, a person who investigates crimes. Bank robbery, the act of stealing money or valuables from a bank. Investigation, the process of examining facts and evidence to solve a crime or mystery. Evidence, information or objects that help prove or disprove something. Suspect, a person who is believed to have committed a crime. Clues, hints or pieces of information that help solve a mystery. Arrest, to take someone into custody for a crime. Trial, a legal process in which evidence is presented and a decision is made about a person's guilt or innocence. Justice, fair treatment and punishment according to the law. Community, a group of people living in the same area and sharing common interests.